All right. It says I am live right now, and I don't know if anyone got to see the thumbnail, but that is indeed a real photo. That was from a few years ago. So I'm going to start today by talking about an article, and I think this article that I have is very relatable to early, brand new guitar players. So we will see if if this article we'll get into it. Welcome, Cosmic Clam. So yeah, I'm going to wait until we get some more people in here, then we can start properly. As I've got an article that I want to read and talk about it with you guys, because this is you'll get what I mean once we start getting into it. Welcome, Arceon. I'm feeling pretty good today. All right, you know what? I'm just going to start getting into it. Okay. Let me see here. Yes, microphone is working. All right. Now I just need to minimize myself. There we go. That seems to be fine. All right, so this article comes from Guitar World. That's where I got where I get all my news and updates about stuff from what's going on in the world of guitars. So, if you don't know who, let me turn the lights on. If you don't know who Gary Clark Jr. is, you should absolutely start listening to him because he is amazing. And and just like me, he is a fellow Texan. So, this article starts off by saying, I got made fun of because I walked in proud with an Ibanez Blazer and a solid state crate amp. Gary Clark Jr. says he was mocked at early club gigs for using entry-level shred guitar gear. Now he says, the Guitar Hero says he soon learned that shred players were not welcomed at Austin's esteemed blues venues. All right. So yes, this is Gary Clark Jr. He is a great, because his earlier albums were more like blues rock ish, and now he's really kind of expanded into different directions where he has a lot more R&B and hip hop elements in his newest album. So we're gonna read on here. He says, every guitarist has, at some point in their playing career, encountered some form of tonal or technique snobbery, and it seems that the A-listers are no exception, as Gary Clark Jr. explains in his new cover feature for Guitar Player. The Austin-raised Guitar Hero famously cut his teeth in the city's blues clubs. However, he says he also started out with a more shreddy set of influences, but found that the same club scene was far less accepting of that side of his playing and also his gear. So, this is interesting because in some ways it could be like how, because you're influenced in one way from certain artists, then you go in to a club and you show up to an open mic, or you show up with a band and they don't like the kind of stuff you're playing, and especially if they'll mock you for the type of gear you're using before finishing the article. I want to say this is something that I very easily could see people coming across, because they'll make fun of you and say, "Oh, well, that type of guitar is not. That's not a good one. You don't want. Why are you wasting your time with all that crap?" It's like, no, you just have to walk in with what you've got, because at least you put in the work, you learn some songs, you show up to the gig or the open mic, you signed yourself up and said, "Hey, I'm here." So that's the most important thing. So next up here. Oh, not me. Just subscribe. Thank you. Asked if shred guitar was frowned upon in the local blues clubs in that early 2000s period. Clark confirms it was indeed a hard sell. "Oh, sure," says Clark. "When I was coming up in Austin, you wanted to be part of the cool club. There was this one club that was very strict about what they would allow. Shredders weren't welcome, not at all. I got made fun of because I walked in proud with an Ibanez Blazer and a solid state crate amp. I was showing up to blues clubs with that, and they were like, 'What the hell are you doing?' But you know, at a certain point, you can't please everybody." And that is so true, because you can't please everybody. But when you go in like Gary Clark Jr., because, like at first people would box him in as, "Oh, you're a blues guy." But then he said before in interviews, he's influenced by Nirvana, but also influenced by, NWA and Snoop Dogg and those guys. And he also, loves Metallica. But so it's funny because when you have your influences, like I have a wide range of influences for me as a guitar player, and I'm sure that you might have influences where those two worlds necessarily don't exactly collide. But the most important thing is you do something because you like it, not because anyone else is telling you no. And I don't think I'm making sense there, but hopefully you're getting the point. So, like, for example, if you like blues music, but you also enjoy modern pop, there's gonna be lots of hate from both sides. Like, Metallica said that they were too punk for the metal clubs, but they were too metal for the punk clubs. But eventually, they just kept sticking through it, kept being themselves, and then they got to the success that they've had now for 40 years. Alright, so it says here, it's quite reassuring to know that even a guitar player of Gary Clark Jr.'s stature and ability faced the same wobbles in finding his feet and his confidence that the rest of us have faced over the years. Needless to say, he's had the last laugh over the genre Puritans and tonal cork sniffers. Okay, that's a good phrase. Cork sniffers. That perfectly sums up everything about this whole elitism that some guitar players have that I can't stand. Is carving out a career that has been distinguished by his chameleonic ability to blend influences in different sonic worlds. All right. Oh, okay. So, any of you guys ever listened to Gary Clark Jr. before? Is I think the most popular song he did was I remember when the Justice League movie was coming out, he did a cover of the Beatles Come Together, and I think that brought lots of attention over to him. But I've known about him since 2015, but he's very cool. I highly recommend you guys watch him, because if I could right now, I would watch a video of him watch a live clip of him, and we could all watch that together. But I'm pretty sure the YouTube gods would not like that, unfortunately. All right, I'm just going to start reading the chat room now. All right. Welcome, Frigid 2Z1, Spacey, Chastity, Project Fan, Khaled, Getty and Beans, welcome. Welcome, Benjamin. How are you doing today? Might as well just put myself back on full screen. Because, yeah, this article is interesting because even a guy like Gary got made fun of for his beginner gear. Because it's funny that he mentioned solid state Crate amp, because Crate is a brand. Well, 2Z1 says, you're not infringing on copyrights because you're transforming the content with your reaction. Well, YouTube doesn't always agree with that, unfortunately. Most of the time, whenever you make a video, or this is the problem I ran into a ton with reaction videos, is it doesn't matter if you're reacting to it. If someone somewhere in the YouTube algorithm, in their copyright system, just detects it, they will put a copyright claim on your video, or even on the live stream, because I tried to do that one time before. So, let's see. I mean, we can. I mean, I'm more than willing to experiment right now. Like, just because because it seems like you guys don't really understand how great Gary Clark Jr. is, and if I just showed him to you, you guys would get it. Because there was one where he did a live performance, but it was not at his concert. He was a guest on a YouTube show. I think it was called Jam in the Van. I'm gonna look it up right now. Jam in the Van. Yes. Oh, it's right there. Jam in the Van. Gary Clark Jr. as one of the early search suggestions. So this one says, "When my train pulls in." Because the thing with Gary is, I haven't seen a ton of live footage of him. Like, I've listened to his albums, and he's great. I've also listened to him on the Joe Rogan podcast. And so, Blake, it's funny. He says, "I saw the thumbnail and thought you went crazy and shaved like Britney Spears." Well, the thing is, that photo is real. I did shave my head in 2020. I think I showed a photo of that in the last live stream, but that photo is absolutely real. But I thought, if I just put that, would that bring more people in or not? So, everything's an experiment, with YouTube. Everything is trial and error. But, anyway, yes, that's right. Yeah. Cosmic Clam says you showed us last stream. That is correct. Okay, well, if shit starts going bad with YouTube, I'll stop it immediately, because the last time I ever even attempted to react to a video on a live stream, YouTube says we're detecting copyrighted footage or whatever it is. But anyway, this video has 5.4 million views from 9 years ago, and it's from the YouTube channel Jam in the Van. So I'm going to... Well, Frigid says start streaming on Kick or Twitch if that's the case. Well, the thing is, everything that I have, everything from everything I know, or sorry, my entire audience is all on YouTube. So if I just go over to Twitch or Kick and start all the way back at zero, then all this work that I've been putting in here on YouTube, it just feels like it would be diminishing if I just started streaming on a different platform, starting all over again from scratch with zero followers over there. So, anyway, we're gonna watch this Gary Clark Jr. video now. I hope you guys enjoy, because I know how good he is from his albums, but I really haven't seen it. Actually, you know what? Missed opportunity here. I'm going to record this as well. So I'm going to hit the start record button and act as if I'm on a video, but then I'm going to so anyway, yeah, I guess a live recording, if you will. Here we go. Hey everyone, MrGamingGuitarist here. Have not done a reaction video in a really long time, but I decided let's just try it. And this is a guy that I've listened to his albums, but I haven't really seen that many clips of him live. So I found some footage of Gary Clark Jr., and this was from the YouTube channel Jam in the Van, and then this song is called When My Train Pulls In. So I'm gonna get it ready here. All right, now I'm going to, let's see, put this in full, whoops, put this in full screen. All right, I'm going to pause the recording first just to, so that yes, well, is the audio output capture working? Yes, it is working. Okay, here we go. Now I'm just going to take myself here. Okay, where, okay, so we have to move this up and then shrink this down. And now we're going to resume recording. All right, so here it is. That's the thing I noticed about YouTube is when you do reactions to music, if you just let the song play, it's a very high likely chance that YouTube will take it down from copyright claims. But if you pause it in between and just start talking about it as it goes on. So anyway, I'm really, I mean, I knew he was a good singer before, but just seeing him being able to sing like that and play at the same time is great to see. But I love the difference when you have two guitars, because normally when you see like blues or blues rock bands, normally it's like a trio where there's normally just the singer is also a guitar player, or he's playing bass normally, and it's just a trio. But I find it interesting how there's another guitar player who is playing a Stratocaster, which sounds very different because, you know, single coils versus, you know, this Gibson SG humbuckers. So different sonic textures going on right there. So anyway, I'm enjoying this a lot so far. So we're going to keep on going because this is 10 minutes. So we're only... Hang on. What's going on? Let me double check this. Okay, well then I guess we're just gonna stop now. Let me double check what's going on with the... Hang on, let me... I fucking knew it. Oh! Okay.